Guys, welcome into the Imperfect Messenger. Today we're discussing Matthew chapter 20 from the King James Version, titled Grace Isn't Fair, It's Greater. Matthew chapter 20 confronts a mindset most people don't realize they carry, the belief that God owes us based on what we've done. This chapter dismantles entitlement, comparison, self-promotion, misunderstanding of greatness, and it replaces it with grace, humility, service, and surrender. This is where Jesus teaches the kingdom does not operate on fairness, it operates on grace and purpose. So, starting off with Matthew chapter 20, 1 through 2 says, For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. So the early workers agree to a wage. Everything is clear and everything is fair. 3 through 7 says, And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went out about the sixth and ninth hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and saith unto them, Why stand ye here all day idle? They say unto him, Because no man hath hired us. He saith unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right thou shalt receive. So in 3 through 7, more workers are hired. Third hour, sixth hour, ninth hour, and 11th hour. Some worked all day, some barely worked at all. 8 through 10 says, So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard saith unto his steward, Call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. When they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. So the late workers receive full pay. This is where tension begins. So 11 through 12 says, And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. So comparison creates frustration. They are no longer grateful for what they received. They are focused on what others got. 13 through 15 says, But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny? Take that thine is, and go thy way. I will give unto this last even as unto thee. So, and it is not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own. Is thine eye evil because I am good? So this is the heart of the parable. God's goodness to others is not injustice to you. A deeper insight into this says grace disrupts human logic. We expect, we work more, we receive more. God says, I give according to my will, not your comparison. Verse 16 says, So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. So the kingdom reverses expectations. Verses 17 through 19, And Jesus going up to Jerusalem took 12 disciples apart in the way, and said unto them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be betrayed unto the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the Gentiles to mock and to scourge, and to crucify him, and the third day he shall rise again. So while the disciples are thinking about reward, Jesus is speaking about sacrifice. An insight to this: you cannot fully understand the kingdom if you ignore the cross. Glory always comes after suffering. 20 through 21 says, Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She saith unto him, Grant that these my 2 sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other on thy left in thy kingdom. But Jesus answered and said, Ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They say unto him, We are able. So they want position, but don't understand the cost. Let me say that again. They want the position of being on Jesus' right hand and his left in the kingdom, but they do not understand the cost. Now, verse 23 says, And he saith unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. So suffering is a part of discipleship, but position is determined by God and God alone. Verses 24 through 27 says, And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the 2 brethren. But Jesus called them unto him and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. So this flips everything. The world says lead by control and rise by power, but Jesus says lead by serving, rise by humility. Verse 28 says, Even as the Son of Man come not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. So Jesus is the model. The king became a servant. Verses 29 through 30 says, And as they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him, and behold, 2 blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus passed by, cried out, saying, Have mercy on us, O Lord, thou Son of David. So they are blind, but they see something the crowd doesn't: identity. Verse 31 says, And the multitude rebuked them because they should hold their peace. But they cried the more, saying, Have mercy on us, O Lord, thou Son of David. So they are told to be quiet, but they get louder. Matthew 32 through 33 says, And Jesus stood still and called them and said, What will ye that I shall do unto you? They say unto him, Lord, that our eyes may be opened. So a clear request, focused faith. Right? Verse 34, So Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him. So compassion meets persistence. Major themes of Matthew 20. So grace is not based on effort. Comparison destroys gratitude. The cross precedes the crown. Ambition must be surrendered. Greatness is defined by service. Persistence and faith brings breakthrough. The imperfect messenger principle on this: you may compare your journey to others, feel overlooked or under-rewarded, desire recognition or position, struggle with understanding God's timing. But the kingdom says, stay faithful, not competitive. Stay humble, not entitled. Stay surrendered, not self-promoting. The final challenge, I want you guys to ask yourself, am I comparing my calling to others? Do I trust God's grace even when it doesn't seem fair? Am I chasing position or embracing service? Am I willing to endure the process before expecting the reward? Matthew chapter 20 teaches this: grace will offend your sense of fairness, but it will transform your understanding of God. Thank you guys for joining me on The Imperfect Messenger, Matthew chapter 20. If you resonated with this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next episode for Matthew chapter 21. Go forth and be blessed. Bye, guys.